Evo is finally back on the channel after a long time. I've had a few issues, I fixed them. Grab yourself a cuppa, let's sit down, let's talk about my Mitsubishi Evo 7. Let's get into it. So guys, you see behind me, the Evo's finally back at Batten HQ. Now, I've had a few issues with this car. So November last year, my alternator died, which you'll see in an up-and-coming video. I had to get that fixed. And at the time when I was fixing that as well, I was gonna do a coolant flush on the Evo. Lord behold, my water pump actually started to fail at this point. I still kept driving it and pushing my luck to the point where the actual water pump seal went and it completely soaked the crankcase. And I'll show you a video of that now. So I contacted a company, which I'm not going to list their name, but I'll get on to that later in the video. But before I get into that, I want to show you all the goodies I've just done to this car, because it's now running a little bit over 300 horsepower. For returning viewers on my channel, you'll know all about this car. But for the new viewers that have come and clicked on the channel, hello. This is my Evo 7, it's a Jap import, and it comes factory with a 2-litre turbocharged engine. So I've had some bits and bobs bolted onto the car. As you can probably see, we've got the tubular manifold, which I got second hand. It's a Jap speed one. Not too bad condition wise. Obviously I'll probably end up upgrading it in the future because at the moment it looks a bit rough for wear. I've had new exhaust studs fitted, all new hardware. I've now installed it's an Evo 9 80 series turbo, which is a little bit bigger than the turbo that came with the Evo 7. Has a better spool rate, which makes more power top end. It does have a little bit of lag, but what you pay for a little bit of lag, you pay for more power, as they say. I finally got the coil packs sorted as well, so they've been mapped in now, which I resulted in last time when I fitted them. It came with a misfire, because obviously they have to be mapped in, etc, etc. I had to fit an electronic 3-port Mac boost controller, the electronic one, to allow it to be boosted, because then you change the boost pressure. This car now is running 1.4 bar, and I'm pretty sure from factory they come with 0.9 bar of boost on the turbo. But obviously with the Japanese cars back in the 90s and 2000, they had the gentleman agreement, which means they couldn't make a car over 280, well, claimed to make 280. This one from factory is an FQ 280. It now is running 360 brake horsepower with 425 Newton meters of torque, which is, for a 4-wheel drive car this size, is quite nice. I've also had fitted onto the battery a hardwire kit, and I had a fuel pump fitted, which it now has a Walbro 255 fuel pump. So the hardwire kit goes straight to the battery, allowing to have constant voltage, which is better than have it taking it from the alternator. It does make a lot more noise, it has a whining noise, but that makes it better because, you know, you've got consistent fuel going to the fuel pump to the engine. So you don't want to have any low fuel pressure. And funny that, I'll explain something to you guys now. So usually it's myself or Ches or the both of us sorting cars out, because it's quite fun to get it done yourself because you learn a bit. This time around I actually took it to a company. I'm not going to say the company's name, and I'm not speaking bad on this company, I'm just talking about my personal experience that I've had with this company. I don't want anyone going, if you know the company, to go to them and talk bad about them. This is just purely my experience I had with the company. So I reached out to this company on Facebook talking about the water pump issue I had. They said they could book me in before the water pump actually failed. What I did is I got the car recovered by AA to get it taken to the company. At that point in time also, I thought I might as well get some bolt-on bits done as well as the mapping, because I thought it's easier to just swallow the cost and get it all done, so that it's not you're just paying for maintenance, you're also getting a little bit of power out of it, which, you know, being a car person, you don't like to pay for maintenance. It's one of those costs that you wish you didn't have to pay. You'd rather have go fast parts. But 2 weeks later, when the boss was back, the main boss, let's just call him main boss, really nice, he spoke me through the car. I bought some bits, so I already had an oil pump, so I replaced the cam belt. So I bought all of that, the water pump, and the balance shaft belt, because these come with a balance shaft belt. I already had all of that there. I had the turbo, I then bought the manifold, had the cob kit. Everything I already had was already there. The only thing that I really needed was hardware. So I bought some bits on eBay. Mistakenly, they said that you should have some OEM parts because they're a lot better, rather than having, I now have a dog. Anyway, so I bought some bits to send off to the company. They obviously replied saying that they only use OEM parts from Mitsubishi, which I completely understand. So when he rung me up, the big boss, he said, would it be easier if I order the parts from Russ Motorsports and then I give you the bill? I said, that's fine. So it ended up being about £600-700 worth of parts, including a downpipe for the car, because it needed a 3-inch downpipe to obviously tune the car, otherwise it wouldn't make the power that it has. He told me about the limiting factor being the injectors as well, so he asked me what power figure, which was quite nice. That started off really well. I said, okay, cool, just get the work done. I'll worry about the cost later. Then a few weeks later, he said about my sump, saying that it's rotting away, it's better to get replaced for a new one, and they couldn't factor the warranty of the turbo. So they said to me they couldn't factor in the warranty, which I don't know if I have or not, because I haven't heard from this company in a while, if they didn't replace the sump, which obviously was an extra cost of £200-something, which is fine. Okay, just get it done. Then they mentioned about the oil cooler line, that was an added extra, so that's another 200 quid from Mitsubishi. And the bill started going up slightly more and more and more. I just ended up swallowing the cost. I paid a little bit more than I wanted to budget-wise before. I had a budget in mind, but then the price started going up. When I messaged them, I said that I do a bit of YouTube. It'd be nice to do like a little video like I've done in the past with RCS, going there, doing the dyno, talking to the company and, you know, basically give them a bit of publicity. It was a bit upsetting because like the big boss was saying, yeah, that's fine, I know you want to get your car dynoed and we can do a video and give you a slot and day and all that kind of thing. And then wasn't until after they finished all the work, they sent me a photo of the dyno sheet, and then they basically just chucked me my invoice and just said, here you go pay that. So then a couple months later, when the car was actually finished, I drove up there to go and collect the car, spoke to the guys, paid my bill. It wasn't until I was driving back, I did try and put my foot down, and as I was going up by probably about £5,000, it started misfiring quite bad. I rung the company and said, obviously there's an issue with the car. They said to come back. I was already half an hour out, so I drove back. The car cut out twice, lost fuel pressure completely. I then returned to the company. They said they had an hour left before they shut, so they'll see if they can get it back on the road and sorted again. I decided to go get some food and come back. They said that the car was obviously that the pump had actually failed, which is a bit frustrating because then the big boss explained to me that the pump that I bought was actually an AEM 350, I think it was. They said they don't recommend the pump, they don't fit those ones, which is a bit annoying because they didn't have any concerns of the fuel pump before fitting it until after they fit it and said that it was a concern. So it's a bit frustrating. So it resulted in me having to contact the old company to see if they can return it. I did get a bit of money off that fuel pump given that it's failed, so that was quite nice. But then I had to order another fuel pump, and then the company actually did charge me for an hour's worth of labour to fit it, which in my head I thought they might have done a goodwill gesture given that I had to drive out and drive back and then lose a day of work to basically come travel to go and collect the car and then spend another day to go and collect the car after, which is a bit frustrating, I know, but you know, that's an extra 200 quid on top there. They replaced the cam sensor because they said there was a fault with that as well. But then when I finally got the car back, obviously the car had a small hunting issue, only when it was like idling after driving it. I contacted the company and they've completely aired me now, which is, I can understand if companies are busy, I get that, but at least a message back would have been nice considering how much I spent, which I'll go through that bill shortly. A bit frustrating. Some companies obviously just want to get the work done. This seems like that kind of company. They just want to take your money and then go. I can understand that, but you'd think you're trying to make a connection and trying to make future business with customers. So yeah, it's a bit upsetting because obviously any future trade they would have had with me is pretty much gone now, because obviously they've had the car for 2 months. I felt they were just like in it just to get the job done. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this and probably making it a big deal, but you know, you think when you spend that much money you can at least get like a message back and stuff like that. But I'm going to run through the bill with you now and tell you about what I've had done. So I have a very long list here now, so I'm going to go over that. Fit turbo manifold supplied, supply and fit new studs, nuts and gaskets, supply and fit 3-inch downpipe, fit supplied timing belt and water pump, fit supplied coil on plug kit, Fit supplied 3-port boost control solenoid, supply and fit bracket for solenoid, fit supplied fuel pump and hard wiring kit, check the front diff for leaks and report, supply and fit new sump, fit supplied oil pump, carry out remap to ECU. Parts: gasket to turbo inlet Evo, gasket turbo to O2 housing, exhaust manifolds, nuts and studs, standard turbo hardware, Mongoose 3-inch downpipe, coolant, new sump, oil return pipe, oil return gaskets, pickup gasket, oil pump gasket, oil filter housing and gasket, balance shaft pulley, Evo 9 turbo fitting kit, engine oil, oil cooler feed, fuel. Come into a grand total of £4,500. That's with the all the service and bits. So you got the side of the engine, the new sump, all the parts bolted on with the turbo as well, and they checked my front diff for leaks, which turned out there was a copper washer that was gone, where they had to replace it because it was leaking some fluid. But yeah, I don't know, you guys could be the masters of it, but £4,500 to get all that work done seems about reasonable, but obviously at the same time, I don't know. But you guys let me know. But now I think it's the time we go and take it for a little test drive to show you guys what it's like and how it drives. So let's get into that now. Running at about 1.4 bar, I believe it is. Obviously it's not huge in Evo terms, it's not huge in boost terms, but it's good compared to stock. Stock was very good, it's typical, it's quite a nippy car, but you were just missing that little bit top end where it felt like you could have just had that little oomph, and fifth gear just felt very, very slow, and it just didn't feel planted at all. Lovely whooshy noises when you come on boost. It has that low rumble when you put your foot down and then it revs up. It sounds really loud, and it has that little rah at the end of it, you know? So it really does feel like you're in control of the car. All these new cars have all these features. Obviously it's easy to go fast, but to drive one of these, the mechanicalness of it is unmatchable. It's just really fun. It's like picking up an old PS2 and playing I don't know, Spyro for the first time. It's horrible yanking, the controls are awful, but there's just something about it, you know? You just can't beat an old car. And the way it just puts the power down. I barely got my foot on the throttle there, it's about halfway, but it just comes on so aggressive. It's like an angry beehive just shaking up, and it wants to get out, you know? It just wants to put the power down, but the 4 wheels turning mechanically, it's just amazing. It doesn't want to kick out or anything. It's very well balanced, these Evos. 7, 8, 9, very good platform. Obviously the older one's very much more mechanical, but then it wants to rip you off the road. With this, it's just amazing. All 4 wheels are planted as you go around corners. It's truly a good car. You want to get it running proper first before you make it look nice. Obviously I did get the coilovers and that wing. If you're wondering where that wing is, if you've been on the channel for a while, I have got plans for that in the future, but it looked a bit out of place for the minute, so obviously I'm just keeping that back in the unit until I do some bits with the Evo. It just has a lovely sound. And it's so addictive to put your foot down. If you're a car guy or a car girl, you know exactly what it's like. Being able to put your foot down and hearing the noises it makes, it just lets our mental health feel so much better, and all those anxiety and depression goes away. I don't know if I'm just chatting a load of shit, but if you know, you know. We're gonna have some nice bit of road now, so hopefully we can get some noise and sound testing for this now. know, the feeling of it just so on boost, it's amazing. It doesn't want to let off at all. I sound like a right knobhead right now, but I just love it. This car is definitely like a dream come true. Even though it's not stupidly fast for 360 horsepower in the spectrum of things, but it's just a nice driving car. It's on a level where it feels like OEM plus, you know? I'm happy with it, so just goes to show money can buy happiness. Especially when it sounds like that. From where it started off, the fairly beaten, neglected, unloved Evo is now in my possession 2 years down the line. And I'd like to say I've improved on it. I've fixed a few bits of rust. The engine is performing better than ever. The water pump, the cam belt, all the servicing bits are all done. It's got fresh oil. I've got the whole month of now August to enjoy this car. With the gracious weather that we've been given by, you know, the United Kingdom right now, it's unbelievable. Compared to like the summer we had last year, which is torrential downpour. So hopefully, touch wood, this summer, I can enjoy it. That's going to do it for today's video. I appreciate you if you've gotten this far into the video. I appreciate all of you watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you drop a comment down below of what you want to see next on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. So I'll see you later.